Canh Rau is a traditional Vietnamese soup that you won't find at any restaurant. This is an at-home staple, and it was actually my favorite soup or veggie growing up. Rau dai is known as jute leaves or Egyptian spinach, and this soup has a slightly viscous consistency that you can't really find in any other soup. This is my mom's recipe, and it really takes me back to my childhood. So do me a favor and make sure you like, comment, share, and save this video. All right, y'all, remember to wash your hands. This is rau dai, and this is the focal point of our soup. Now to process this, I'm gonna get rid of some of the thicker and fibrous stems, and I'm just gonna give that a rough chop. We'll give this a rinse in some cold tap water and get that drained. Now, one of the most unique things about this dish is its slightly viscous or gooey texture, and to make that happen, we'll actually need to give our rau dai a massage. This slightly mucus-like texture is similar to what you would find in okra or aloe vera, but it's really what makes this soup iconic for me. We'll massage our rau dai until it's released its sticky gooiness, and we'll put that to the side and get the rest of our prep work done. Now this is some dried shrimp that I picked up from Cole Market, and I'm just gonna rehydrate that in some warm water for about 10 minutes. And if you like this recipe, and you wanna learn how to make more of your favorite Vietnamese and Asian dishes, make sure you subscribe and turn on your notifications to stay up to date on all my latest posts. Then I have a shallot that I'll finely mince. And then finally, I'll chop up some green onions to use as a garnish later. Now to a pot on medium-high, I'm gonna add in a splash of oil and drop in our minced shallots. I'm gonna saute this for just a minute or until fragrant, and then I'll add in our rehydrated dried shrimp. I'm gonna continue to cook this for just another minute or so to really get the shrimp to release some of its flavor. Then to the pot, I'm gonna add in about 3 quarts of water. I'll bring that up to a boil, and then I'll skim off any of the impurities. Then we'll drop in all of our rau dai, and I'll let this come back up to a boil. Then we'll reduce the heat and let that simmer covered for about 10 to 15 minutes. While our soup is simmering away, I'll quickly make our little shrimp meatballs. This is some cleaned and peeled shrimp, and using my knife, I'm just gonna finely mince and pound that until it becomes a paste. And I do want to leave just a couple of big chunks of shrimp in there to add to the texture, but we'll get our shrimp paste into a bowl and we'll season that with a splash of fish sauce, a touch of sugar, and some ground black pepper. Give that a good mix and then we'll get that into our soup. But first, we'll season our soup with a tablespoon of sugar, a tablespoon of MSG, and 1 to 2 tablespoons of fish sauce. But as always, I recommend seasoning this to taste and adjusting it to your own preferences. Now using a spoon, I'm just gonna drop in a small portion of our shrimp. And you could take it up a notch and actually form meatballs or quenelles, but my mom always made it more rustic. When the shrimp starts to float to the top, you know it's cooked through and it's time to plate. I'm just gonna ladle some of our soup into a bowl. And I'll garnish that simply with some chopped green onions and fresh ground black pepper. Make this a complete meal by serving it with a braised protein like pitkau and some rice. And just like that, you've made Canh Rau at home. As always, the printable recipe is on my blog at feedthepudge.com. I hope you love this classic Vietnamese dish as much as I do, and I really hope you enjoy my mom's recipe. Because like most little kids, I didn't actually like eating veggies growing up, but this Canh Rau was always the exception. When my mom wanted to feed me some greens, this was the soup she always made, and there's nothing quite like it. Now, like most Asian moms, my mom showed her love and affection through acts of service, and that was primarily through cooking me food. And honestly, that's a huge reason why my relationship with food and Vietnamese culture is the way that it is today. If you've made it this far, let me know in the comment section, what was your favorite dish that your mom cooked for you growing up? Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoy.